welcome back to my channel, to another video. Why do I always forget what I say in the beginning of these videos? It's really bad. Prime YouTuber skills coming out in this one. Today I'm going to be giving some advice to future middle schoolers and current middle schoolers, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. I just got out of middle school. I'm going into my freshman year of high school, so that is where all this advice is coming from, my 3 years of experience. My first piece of advice for 6th graders is to try to find a map of your school before the first day. And a lot of the time, schools have maps on their website. I know my school did, and that will help you kind of plan out a route. You'll be like, okay, so I come in on the first day, head to my first class up this staircase, then from that class I'll go to this class. And I find that it actually really helps. I used that strategy in 6th and 7th grade because at my school 6th graders were separated from the 7th and 8th graders. So after 6th grade I got completely new teachers, which didn't really happen from 7th to 8th grade except in like one class. Most teachers usually don't care that much on the first day. If you're a tiny bit late, obviously don't come in like 20 minutes late to class, but if you are like a minute or two late and you just say, I got lost, I couldn't find the class, they'll be fine. If you continue to do that after like the first week of school though, they'll start having a problem. This one, especially for 6th graders, but it kind of applies for all 3 years, take sick days and mental health days if possible. Trust me, I know. Catching up on work is the worst thing in the world because you're getting more work while trying to catch up on old work. But trust me, if you are sick, you do not want to be at school. It is miserable. So just know, take sick days. And in middle school, you can get really stressed out. It's kind of that merging from elementary to high school. So the workload does start to get harder, and if you are stressed out and your parents are okay with it, take a mental health day. My third piece of advice is to wait to talk to your friends. I mean, not like in class, but like once you are in the classroom before class starts, at lunch or after school, because hallways, especially if your school is larger, like I went to a 3-story school, and you do not want to talk in those hallways because, one, you'll probably be late to class because you're, especially depending on how far your classes are away from each other. I get it if you have to like exchange a quick thing with a friend and your classes are like next to each other, but if one of your classes is across the school, you want to get there as fast as you can because you, unless you have like a watch or something, you do not know when that class is going to start. Also, it just like clogs the hallway, and other people that are trying to get to their classes, that even if your class is like right next to each other, some people are trying to get to classes that are all the way across the school, and they do not have time for you to just stand there talking to your friend in the middle of the hallway. If you really need to, move to the side. Now, this one was a big deal, especially at my school, because 6th graders were separated from 7th and 8th graders, and I know not all schools are like that, but some are. While they are a little judgmental of the 6th graders because they're the new kids in the school, and the 7th and 8th graders know that they aren't going to know completely what's going on, don't be afraid of them because like 90% of them are like willing to talk to you and willing to help you. We're not as scary as you might think. My next piece of advice is to find good friends, which is most important in 6th grade. I mean, you can in 7th and 8th grade, but what I mean by good friends is friends that push you academically, and I know that really helped me in middle school because if I had hung out with people who didn't really care that much about their grades, I feel like that would have rubbed off on me and I wouldn't have gotten the grades that I did. I feel like the environment that you placed yourself in really affects you. I got really good grades in middle school and my friends got good grades. We all cared about school, and that is a really important factor because there is absolutely no reason that you shouldn't be pushing yourself to do the best that you can. Don't get super stressed about the first day of school. I mean, I barely remember my first day of school in 6th grade, but in 6th grade, the first day is not a big deal. You don't really get any work. You just maybe will get some papers that your parents need to sign and read, like letters and stuff, and you're just getting your spots. You're kind of getting introduced to your teachers, to your classmates. You are not doing anything big. And once again, as I mentioned before, it does not matter if you are late to class on the first day because teachers will totally understand. I mean, every once in a while there's going to be that one teacher that's like really grumpy and is like,
"Are you late to my class? Excuse me, my time is more important than yours. Like, how do you not know this school even though it's your first day?
Just don't stress that much, because I totally stress about the first day of school, and I don't want you to have that stress as well. Just because you are in 7th grade does not mean you are better than everyone else. Now, 7th graders, it's an awkward stage. You're in between 6th grade and 8th grade, but you were just a 6th grader, so don't act so like high and mighty now that you are the next grade level up, and don't be rude to the 6th graders, because you were in that position last year. You didn't know what was going on. Don't act like you did. So don't get mad at the 6th graders for not knowing what they're doing in the first couple weeks of school, not being totally prepared. Like, just let them breathe. Let yourself breathe. You're not at the top yet. You're not at the bottom. So just kind of let yourself rest in that space. You're the true middle schooler because you're in the middle. No. Work on time management and don't procrastinate. Procrastinate. I don't know. I am totally guilty of this. Even though I get good grades, it doesn't mean I don't procrastinate, because I totally do. And it's a really bad habit. And I think while you're in 7th grade, when you're starting to get a little heavier workload, but still not at that 8th grade workload, I feel like it's a good time. And you can also work on this during 6th grade, but like, make sure you have a planner that year or some planning device. Like, use your phone calendar. Keep track of your work. Do not wait till the last minute to do your work. It does not work out in your favor, especially if you really want to get that good grade and you want to put your best effort in. Best effort usually means more time spent on it. As I mentioned before, be prepared for your workload to increase, because at least at my school, once again, I cannot speak for all schools, but 6th grade is easy. It may not seem easy because you are coming from elementary school, and some elementary schools do not give their students that much of a workload, but it is so easy compared to 7th and 8th grade. And 7th grade is just, it's like a slow workload increase. It does ramp up as the year goes on, but just be prepared for that workload increase, and don't expect it to just be like a free ride just because you're not in 8th grade yet. It's still going to be hard. Try out extracurriculars. While you do have a lot more homework and classwork, it's still not that high level, and it's not that low level. But if you didn't get into extracurriculars in 6th grade, try to get into like doing, I don't know if your school has clubs or like drama productions, plays. At my school we had dance concerts, we had music productions. Let yourself run free, do what you want, join photography club, try out for a play. You can do tech, you can be in the play. I don't know if every school does that. Be in a talent show. I don't know. In this middle year where you kind of feel a little bit lost, do something that you love, try something new, just experiment, have fun, because now that you're a little bit more used to the middle school life, you can kind of add more stuff to your routine. Try to grow your friend group and meet new people. For me, in 7th grade, I was going into the year with just 3 close friends, and then by the end of the year, I was sitting with a whole new group of people who I did not know at the beginning of the year, but they became a great friend group. I knew them all pretty well. I mean, obviously they weren't all my close friends, but they were still really kind people, and I really liked sitting with all of them for lunch, sharing stories. We all were in different extracurriculars. We all had different teachers, different electives. So it's just a great year to meet new people. My final piece of advice: do not let yourself get swallowed by the 6th and 8th graders. As I kind of touched on before, 7th graders are in the middle, so maybe you can feel a bit lost. You're like, I don't really feel like a 7th grader, I kind of still feel like a 6th grader. Or maybe you're just plowing ahead and you're like, I'm ready to be an 8th grader. I want to be at the top of the school. I want to have all the glory, because that's totally what 8th grade's about. But you kind of just feel stuck. You're like, why is this workload intensifying? I don't know what I'm doing really. Why am I in the middle? Why can I not be on the top? Why am I still so close to the bottom? It's kind of a weird stage. That's another reason to try new things and meet new people, because then you don't feel as stuck. You feel like you're doing things. You feel like you're moving forward and not just staying in the same place. Stay focused. Just because you're at the top of the school does not mean you get to slack off and not do your work and not try, because It matters. Like, do your work. There's no reason why you should not be trying your best. Do whatever you can and stay focused because, I mean, once again, I don't know what the workload is like at other schools, but in my school, 8th grade got hectic. It's very stressful, and so you just gotta stay focused and plow through because you just gotta keep summer in mind. You will get through it, even if it seems like summer is so far away. I mean, I'm here now. I survived, barely. Keep moving forward. Don't become arrogant. Just because you're at the top doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean that you're better than anybody else. Because while you may have more experience than the 6th and 7th graders at middle school, dealing with middle school drama, with middle school life, with homework and everything, it's just, don't act rude or mean because it's not polite. Socialize with younger classmates. This kind of adds on to the last one. Like, maybe not the 6th graders, especially if you are separated, but like, definitely socialize with other grades, like the 7th graders, especially since you guys are so close, and like in my school, you could be grouped in classes together. So just don't push them away. Like, there could actually be some really fun people that you would really actually like talking to in the younger grades.
No, they're younger than me. They don't have as much middle school experience as me. They can't talk to me. They obviously aren't as cool as me.
'Cause I'm so cool.
Try a few things that scare you. And once again, this is one of the ones that can kind of be pushed into 6th and 7th grade, but especially in 8th grade because you are about to leave the school. You want to try new things while you're there. Like, I did something that I honestly would never have thought possible. We had an 8th grade promotion, which I think is at most schools. And so at promotion, there were usually 2 speakers. The year that I was there were 3. And I decided to try out to be one of the speakers. And you had to write your own speech and audition in front of one of the language arts teachers. And it wasn't even the language arts teacher I had, which made it even worse. I was like, you know what? I'm leaving the school. Let's try this. And I actually ended up being one of the promotion speakers. I was the last student performer speaker because we also had performances going on. And it went really well. I felt really good about it afterwards. Just do something that you may not have done before, but like that you could see yourself being interested in. Honestly, I mean, obviously not something like bad, scary, more just something that like pushes you out of your comfort zone. This is obvious, I've touched on it before, but work hard. You are gonna get that 8th grade, end of the year, end of your middle school experience workload. But it is possible to push through that and work on it and try your best and get good grades. It's the end of your middle school experience. You feel spread thin. You feel like you cannot handle any more work, but they keep piling it on you. You feel like you don't have enough time. It is possible to persevere. You got this. And lastly, balance work and fun. Because I feel like in 6th grade especially, I mean, this is 8th grade advice, but you'll see where I'm going. In 6th grade, I did not hang out with my friends outside of school except for like once. And that wasn't really fun for me. Like, I was just always doing homework and I didn't really allow for that friend time, so I wasn't as close with my friends in 6th grade. 7th grade, it got a little bit better. I started hanging out with them outside of school more. We got closer. It was really great. But 8th grade, I started going to the mall with my friends. I started having sleepovers, and I got super close to my friends, and it just turned my experience around because 1, I was closer to the people that I cared about, and 2, I didn't feel as stressed because when you spend time with your friends and you're laughing and having fun, I think it's been like scientifically proven in different ways to just alleviate stress, like make you feel better. Like, I think there's that whole thing about like if you smile even if you're unhappy, your body will start to release like the chemicals that will make you feel happy. And it's just that kind of thing. Like, if you're stressed about a paper, obviously not if the paper's due like the next day, but if you feel like you're at a good stopping place and you will get your work done on time, don't be afraid to hang out with your friends because it makes life better. So that is my final piece of advice. This is just coming from me, my personal experience. There may be different things that you found to be helpful. There may be things that you see differently than my views. You still sometimes need advice as a 7th and 8th grader. So that's what I'm here for. I don't know if it was helpful or not, but I really hope so. And that concludes this video. Bye guys, not burgers. Oh, wow, I'm sore. Bye guys.